Hello, and welcome to the House of Purl podcast. My name is Allison, and this is episode 2. Thank you so much to everyone who watched and liked, subscribed, commented. It was a really fun experience for me. Turns out I really like talking about myself to a camera. I don't, but it's been a fun connecting experience, and I think I'm going to continue doing it. I'm not going to be doing it weekly, probably every other week, because I'm not really a prolific knitter. I don't whip out a sweater every week, but I have a few things every once in a while, so I will continue to share them with everyone, and you guys can get some fun insight to my weird grandma hobby that I so dearly love. So the last time I filmed, it was January 5th, and it's been quite a year so far. Some crazy stuff has been happening. It's just been a crazy year, and I feel like everyone thought 2020 sucked, right? I don't know what we were thinking, that 2021 was gonna magically change everything, but turns out 2021 is also crazy. I, as a lifelong learner, love to have goals. I'm constantly setting goals for myself so that I can learn new things, and so New Year's resolutions, they're goals for me. I just like what I'm looking forward to in the year. Usually I have a reading goal, an exercise goal, all these different types of goals. This year I found that I don't want to set goals really. Last year my goal was to knit a sweater and start knitting socks, and I did that. This year I just want to keep knitting and selling things and sharing my makes with everyone. My only other goal, I'm not doing a reading goal. I don't want to put numbers on anything. I don't know what's going to happen this year, how it's going to go. So the only goal that I've decided to make for 2021 is to be nicer to myself. And I'm just curious, is everyone else setting New Year's goals? Or is everyone just trying to survive these years? Because it's a lot. Hopefully you guys all are staying safe and enjoying the year thus far, even though it feels like it's been a wild ride already. So let's talk about setting goals, learning things, and new hobbies. My little sister lives with us, Erin, and I encourage her to find a hobby. And when I first said, do you want to knit? She said, yes, but I would want to be as good as you, so I don't want to start. And I said to her, you just have to practice. Like, I didn't know how to knit for a very long time. I was doing it backwards and I didn't even know, but I still learned along the way and taught myself stuff. So I just one night pulled out a skein of yarn and some knitting needles, and I said, do you want to learn how to knit? And she said, yeah, sure. So I taught her how to knit, and she's really good, you guys, really good. This is a mini little hat, and I taught her how to join in the round and do ribbing and then all the way up. And her gauge, she's better than I am. So, rising little star. We're also learning how to sew together, and that's been quite a fun experience. So we are making this McCall's bag pattern. It's this big one. Well, the semi-big one. She's never sewn from a pattern. Our mom is a great seamstress and knows how to sew, so she always sewed for us, so we didn't really learn how to sew, but we watched her. And so, wow, that was a humbling experience. It's been 2 weeks, and we have one thing sewn, and this uses interfacing. Well, okay, so the first day that we tried, we were like, all ready, let's go. So we laid out the fabric, we laid out the pattern pieces, we got ready to cut, and we were like, yeah, we don't know what we're doing. We just kind of were like, we should probably watch some videos and do some research before we start. So I walked into the bedroom after that, and my husband goes, how was sewing? And I went, we're gonna try again tomorrow. So yeah, that's where we were at. But it's been a great learning process. This one uses interfacing, and I have never actually used interfacing. So we did it, we applied it correctly, except for there's a layer of paper when you're doing interfacing, and you're supposed to pull that off, and I didn't realize that was supposed to come off. So I'm sitting there trying to sew this, and I'm like, this sounds like it's papery, it's got paper on it, like this is weird, I don't like interfacing. And I'm sitting there with the machine trying to get it to go through properly, and it was annoying and it wasn't working. And then finally I was like, I'm just gonna rip this off. Like, I don't need interfacing for this, right? It's gonna be fine. And I go and I rip it off, and I'm like, oh, you're supposed to rip off the paper. So it sewed really well after that. But yeah, we're making progress. It's very slow and steady, but I think that we're gonna have a bag soon, and then we're gonna have a garment, and then we're gonna have a closet full of garments that we've made. So it's a learning process. We've laughed, we've felt dumb so many times, but you kind of have to feel dumb and just trial and error. And just because you're not good at something, keep going. Like, if you want to start a new hobby, but you're kind of like, oh, I'm not going to be good at it, just start it. How good you are at doing a hobby doesn't deem your worthiness to do it. Everyone is allowed to do their hobby. It's your own process, your own journey. If you want to do it, just go for it. Don't worry about where you're starting, because everyone else also started there. So if you would like to learn how to knit or sew, just go for it. Make mistakes, learn how to knit the wrong way, teach yourself how to knit the wrong way, and then learn years later that you've been doing it the wrong way. So one of the things that I get to do this year is make a blanket. My mother-in-law, she knows how to knit, and she was starting to knit and was a little bit frustrated that she wasn't great at knitting. And so in the beginning of the pandemic, when you are trying to figure out what you're gonna do when you're stuck at home for months and months, she decided to get this knitting kit, and she's like, perfect, it sends you yarn, it sends you everything. I'm gonna knit a whole blanket. And then the kits started coming, and there's a lot of them because this is a big blanket, and she went, I'm not gonna knit this. So fortunately, her daughter-in-law loves to knit, and so I inherited this great blanket, and it is Annie's Knit Afghan. And I've seen that they have other crafts, Annie's Craft Club. So if you're interested, this is just the knit one. So it makes this Afghan, and it's got all these different blocks, all these different patterns, and they come in just a packet. Like, it comes with 2 skeins of yarn, and then it gives you exactly the instructions of what you need to do for each block and the stitches that you'll be doing. And it's tons of different stitches. It's really fun. It's really easy. I mean, it's not easy if you're just beginning. It's gonna be a learning process, but that's good. It's kind of mindless for me, and I really enjoy that. And I've got all of these squares so far. These different, they're pretty basic stitches right now, but they're gonna get more complicated as it goes along. So pretty soon I'm gonna have a ton of these blocks. I think there's 30 in total. And then I will put them together and I will have a blanket. So that's pretty fun. A couple weeks ago, I was like, I wanna make gloves, I wanna make mittens. And then somebody asked me, hey, have you made gloves? And I was like, no, but that's literally the next thing that I wanna do. So I set out to make gloves, and you guys, I made mittens. Like, what? Yes. These are actually 1/2 inch difference. So one of them is too large for me, and one of them is the perfect size, but I made mittens. And so I'm gonna do another one to match the larger one. And then I'll probably end up putting those on Etsy. They're so fun. I mean, they were pretty easy to make too. So how fun. I just get to show off all of my knitting. I make a ton of beanies for Etsy, and I just love to find new patterns and new yarn. And one of the ones that hasn't sold on my store, I might keep it for myself, but this gorgeous, so ribbing on a hat, I know it looks kind of like weird stripes, right? But it makes it so stretchy, and this yarn is so soft. Like, it makes it a sleek beanie, and I really like this beanie. Like, wow. It's really comfortable. It's fun. It goes with everything. Yeah, so if you want this beanie, it's available on my Etsy shop. I have a few beanies. I'm getting kind of low on beanies because I spent December doing some special projects and not really stocking up the Etsy shop. Also, it is coming to the end of winter here. San Diego, I've been running around in jean shorts and a t-shirt. It was 85 degrees. So it feels like winter is ending. I know it's not ending everywhere. I know that people are in the snow and still freezing, but Here in San Diego, it's not winter, so I think it's supposed to start cooling down and getting rainy though. So this was a first for me, a lot of firsts. This has mohair in it, and I held yarn, it's basically this yarn, and then some mohair, which is like a furry type of, it's got like fuzz to it, it's fuzzy. And so it fills it out, and there's like a fun halo on this, and it makes it super warm but still lightweight. Also, this one has like a double brim, so it's double right here, and it makes it really, really warm, but it's not super like heavyweight. The only thing about this is I like just kind of like zoned out and just kept knitting, so it's got sort of like a little extra, I don't know, it's got a little extra material, and I was kind of like, it's not perfect, I don't want to list it or sell it, and I'm self-conscious about it, but it's a pretty cute beanie, so that's fun. I have a ton of more yarn. I got a lot of yarn for Christmas. There's more too, thanks family, and I also bought myself yarn. And this yarn is good for like socks, or I could even like make a baby sweater out of it. I'm at that age where people are having babies a lot, but I don't know. Do people buy hand knit baby sweaters? Is that a thing? I don't know. I think this one would look really pretty with the mohair. It'd be really fuzzy. It would just like brighten it up a lot too. We'll see. Maybe I'll make that for next time to see. I just wanted to take a second and show off the hats that I have available in my Etsy shop, so everyone knows what they're like in person, not in person but over camera, and can see me sort of interacting with them and not just a picture of me wearing them. This one is going to be going up in the shop soon, I think, probably. This one is really cool. It's like a dark purpley, but it's definitely got some gray to it, and it's got diamond cables in it, and so I think it's called Diamonds Appropriate. It is definitely slouchier fit. Not like that, don't wear it like that. Yeah, so you can wear it slouchy, or you can also fold it up and wear it more fitted. So that is another option. This one is so cool. The way it turned out, I'm just like, wow, it's one of a kind. I'm not gonna be able to get this yarn ever again. And it sort of like came out like mock stripes with just like variegated gray. It's really cool. It's made to be slouchy. So you gotta kind of like zhuzh it in the back. It's a soft yarn. Yeah, it's really cool. I love this one. This one's fun. All of my hats I show with pom-poms, they actually don't come with the pom-poms except for these three that I'm gonna show, the next three. They do come with pom-poms just because I have them made for it and in there, but you can really easy untie it and take it off and not have the pom-pom. It's fun. And it makes good pictures. So this one is definitely a little tighter. I haven't put it on for a while, so if you have a big head, probably gonna be too tight for you. But this color is beautiful. I love this color. Oh, beautiful. Also, this is knit the wrong way, but don't pay attention to that. These next three are. Again, there's a removable pom-pom on this one, and this orange is like a deep spice orange. Oh, it's beautiful. It almost looks velvety on the pom-pom. So this one is definitely larger. It would for sure fit my husband. You can wear it slouchy, or you could fold this one up too for a more fitted look to it. This one is very warm. It's nice. I love the pom-pom. This last one, it is 3-color black. So it's got this really pretty tweedy green, and then a cream, and then that deep orange that I was talking about, and it's really pretty. So these ones are long enough where you can, if you're into it, you can wear them slouchy, or you can roll up the brim and wear it fitted. This one is also larger. I think my husband is modeling it on Etsy. It fits him, so it'll fit a lot of people. And then the last one I have is a little rainbow Betty, so messy bun for a child. This one, I'm not totally sure like what size child it fits. I don't have any children accessible to me to try it on their heads to see if it's like a real size, but I love these colors. This yarn ended up working really well together. So that's all up in the shop. Check it out. So real quick, I think I want to bring a couple special guests onto the show. This is my baking addiction. So first off, I do have to rave about these cookies. I make really large cookies. Cookies are like my weakness. They're my dessert that I love to make and eat raw dough and eat them baked and frozen raw dough. It's fine. I don't have a problem. But these ones are chocolate peanut butter with peanut butter chips. And I got like a super red Dutch processed cocoa. Oh my gosh, you guys, I made these for Christmas and I had to make them again like 2 weeks later. And this is from that batch, and I froze some of the dough and just get to bake it up. So super good if you want like a really good, rich, indulgent cookie. Should try those. And I'll link the recipe that I used. So this next guest is very special to me. His name is Hank, and he is my sourdough starter. Let me grab him. He is 2 years old, and he is a whole wheat and just all-purpose sourdough starter. I don't know if you can see the bubbles in there, but Hank's happy right now. Hank lives in the refrigerator, and I bake a sourdough loaf off of him twice a month or every week, just depends. I make a lot of stuff with the discard too. I make some really, really good, I found a recipe of banana bread that's sourdough based, and it's dangerous. And I've started to make pasta. I mean, it's just, if you want to have a sourdough starter, I feed him like once a week or once every couple of weeks. If I'm going to be baking off of him, I make sure that it's every week and I have him going. But I make a ton of stuff with him, and he's been lots of fun. I make sourdough pasta a lot, and pasta's super easy if you get a pasta roller. So much fun, so good. So I think that's it for this time. I hope that you guys were somewhat entertained by that and got a kick out of seeing all of my fun crafting and my sewing fails. We'll see you next time. Hopefully I have a bag to show off, but thank you again for joining me, and I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you stay safe and do something fun for yourself. Thanks. Bye.